Hey everyone, welcome to today's Daily Nuggets of Wisdom. How's everyone doing? Today is Wednesday, May the 6th. I hope you guys all had a fabulous Cinco de Mayo yesterday, whatever you were doing in your self quarantine, in your self quarantine, sorry. No, I didn't have any margaritas yesterday or today yet, but I don't even know. I was trying to think how many days it's been in the quarantine. So I came back from Costa Rica on March 17th. Oh, sorry, wrong way. March 17th. And so April 17th, it was a month, 17. So that'll be 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And Friday it will be 8 weeks. Is that right? March. No, that doesn't sound right. 4. No, I guess that's right. 8 weeks. Wow. I thought it was longer. Seems longer. But anyhow, it's good to check in and with all that time, what's going on and what we've been doing with our time. So I've had a wonderful opportunity to travel around and visit some friends. So that was very nice. A lot of times in my life prior to this, prior to leaving my job, I didn't have time to visit my friends, which is sad. But I have the time now, so I'm doing it. And I was in Washington, and now I returned to Portland, and I'll be staying here for at least 2 months. I don't know, maybe longer. We'll see. I'm considering a relocation to Portland, so I will keep you posted. Anyhow, I got a new shirt. Only good vibes, thank you. Yeah, I've been traveling, and I packed, a pretty small suitcase for considering I was going to be gone for 5 months. And so I haven't really, I've had the same like clothes choices for going on 5 months. And so I thought that when I went out shopping yesterday for some food, I saw this beautiful shirt at Target, and I bought it on sale. Thank you. Anyhow, that's not why I'm here. Why I'm here today is to talk to you about a new game that I created. Now, I have been playing this game, and I've shared it with friends. I was really playing it quite a bit focusedly this last summer when I was in France. But I pulled it out and I made it into, a formal game. Like I have a description of how to play it and why you would want to play it. And I wanted to share that with you today. So you may have seen my new logo and Mine Heart Space, and then on the top of the logo says Unified Matter and Spirit, and down below it says Attune, Align, and Ascend. And that's a lot on there, so I just wanted to take it apart. And today I just wanted to talk to you about the Attune part, because that's related to the abundance game in a particularly special way. So a lot of you may have heard about this book called The Law of Attraction, and then it was turned into a movie. And a lot of people were really attracted by the idea of attracting what you want in your life. But some people, were a little frustrated because they weren't really sure how to use it or how it worked exactly. So, I wanted to say a couple things about that. So, in my self-healing journey, the work that I've been doing, um, really for the majority of my adult life, but it's just been accelerating as I've gotten to the point where I just don't have the patience anymore to pretend that I don't know. So that's part of the reason why I went on this worldwide journey, which really I've been doing in small pieces, like every summer. And then I just like picked up the pace and I said, why do it just in the summer? Let's do it all year round. And so this was my part of my transition into living my life wholly how I wanted to, not just like in little parts where I could squeeze out like a little bit here and a little bit there. And so I just said, you know what? If I can do it here and I can do it there, I can do it everywhere, just like Dr. Seuss or something. And so I did it. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about how that was connected to the law of attraction and the idea of being in tuned energetically with what you're wanting to attract. Now, I kind of laid out an introduction to the kind of coaching I do, and it includes the 3 A's, the 3 A's of integration. And the first one, as I've mentioned a couple of times already, is attunement, being attuned to to the energy of your true self. And this sounds confusing at first to a lot of people. I know, like, it sounds mysterious. Like, aren't I already attuned to my natural self? And I get it. But through our lifetimes, we gather a lot of, or we actually put ourselves into restraints that don't belong to us. We inherit them, we're taught them at school, we're taught them by our society. And so every time we want more of these little restraints, we are changing our natural vibration in order to fit in order to be accepted, in order to be loved, or what we think we have to do as children. Because this happens at such a, impressionable time, when we're just little. And a lot of these things we do unconsciously. We don't make the choice because for a lot of us, it's like, part of our survival, how we learn to survive in the world, how we receive love. And so I know for me, I can't speak for everyone else, but for me, as I got older, I started just like, got so uncomfortable. It's like, none of this works for me anymore. And it never did. I just got to the point where I was just tired and I was sick. I wasn't feeling good. And I thought to myself, this isn't normal. This isn't right. This isn't the way this isn't what I dreamed my life to be. Just getting along, just surviving, ignoring my body, ignoring my heart, and just, compromising and settling for things that I was told that would make me happy. But when I really sat in the quietness of my own mind and heart in my meditations, and the more that I did that, the more my natural attunement or vibration started to rise and started to allow me to see that I was attuning myself to things that weren't in alignment with who I am. And it was causing me, physical and emotional suffering. And I had to get to the point where I was able to see it, because nobody does that to themselves on purpose, first of all. And then once you realize you have a suspicion that you actually have been doing that to yourself, you don't want to admit it, because it's embarrassing, it's humiliating, it's, brings up a lot of shame and guilt. because part of why you were doing all that stuff to yourself, a part of the reason why I was doing all that stuff to myself, restricting myself, was because I thought who I was wasn't okay. And I got that message from a very, very early age. My expression of joy, my expression of creativity was altered and changed and restricted and suppressed because it didn't fit in with other people's logical justifications or their tastes or their sense of joy. So it was, just appeared to be wrong. And so it's like when you're made wrong at a fundamental level, what do you do? Like, there's nowhere to go after that. And so, I don't, as I've mentioned before, I don't really think I'm that unique. I think a lot of people are in the same boat and they don't even know it. They know, they have an inkling, like if they really let themselves sit still long enough and really be present with themselves, perhaps like what's being allowed right now during this quarantine. People are being quarantined from outside restrictions. They're being quarantined from, all of these social, societal structures that keep them in check. And so maybe now people are having more opportunity to like open that little window and look out and see that there's a whole world out there that's not based in restriction. So anyhow, back to the idea of attunement, and not that I left it, but I just want to relate it to the abundance game and also to the law of attraction. So, just, speeding ahead to, my adult self, a lot of the things I did and I created in my life were out of lack. So I created my work, I created my relationships, I created my relationship to money, and of course that all affected my relationship to my body and to my health. Out of trying to fix or change something that wasn't right. And really, if I would have stopped to look at it, that was like at a fundamental level, like I wasn't right. And so, like I said, there's nowhere to go when fundamentally, like, you're not right. Like there's nothing you can do to change that. So I went out in the world, and that was what I was creating out of. And this past 2 years, it really began to dawn on me that the reason why I was suffering, the reason why I wasn't feeling satisfied with what I had created was because I did it out of the wrong vibration. And I'm not wronging myself here. I mean, it was my unnatural vibration. It was not my true energy of joy and spontaneity and love and creation. I was creating out of, I'm not okay. Something's wrong with the world. Something's wrong with me. And if I can just do enough and be enough, I can fix it. And what I slowly realized is that I just create more of the same, because there's nothing wrong with the world. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with anybody. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to change. And when I chose to start creating out of the fullness of my being, out of abundance that I already possess, I possess so many gifts so abundantly, and I'm not like bragging about myself. But I mean, every day, every minute of the day, I have air to breathe. I have a roof over my head. I have clothing. I have a computer. I have my health. I have my freedom of mind, my freedom of emotion, my freedom to create. I have all the beauty around me that I see everywhere I look. I mean, I could spend all day, giving thanks for, my feet. They're so lovely. Although I haven't had a pedicure in like forever, but come on. That they work and I can stand on them and that they support me. And, that I have, that I woke up this morning, and I could go on and on. So I made the abundance game out of that vibration with only good vibes. So that's the trick about the law of attraction that I don't really think was emphasized or explained to people. And so I'm going to include a link down below this video for my free abundance game that you can go, you can click on the link and it will take you to a site and you can download the instructions and then you can play and you can experiment, like your life is a laboratory and you're the scientist because you are. And you can see what happens when you start receiving from joy and fullness and peace and completeness and love. And so I just wanted to share that with you. That's what I mean by the first A of integration, which is to attune to the truth of who you are. And it's a process. It's not like there's steps, like first you do this, first you do that. It kind of, circular, it goes around. And you attune and then you receive, and then you go back to attuning and you're trying to, it's a feedback system and you're playing with it. So you can see what a powerful creator you are. You're creating all the time, whether you know it or not. How powerful the vibration of your words and your thoughts are, and your attitude, like how you approach something. If you approach it out of lack or something's wrong versus nothing could be more right, and I'm just here expressing my rightness. So I just wanted to share that with you today. Again, the link's below. I invite you to click on it and play with me. Since I made it, I wanted to make it available for you guys. I started playing every day. And let me see, what did I pick for today? Today I chose what I wanted to experience most, like what would make my life more lovely, more extraordinary than it already is. What would I love to receive today and play with? And I put compassion. Excuse me. So the question that I posed to myself is, how much compassion can I receive today, or how much compassion am I willing to receive today? Because at the end of the day, this game is about me, first and foremost. And then naturally, the more abundance I have, the more abundance that people around me are going to have, because it just pours over my cup, because my cup overrunneth. So that's my wish for you, and that's the reason why I wanted to share the game with you. I think you'll really, really enjoy it, and I can't wait to hear about what happens while you play and what things you discover about yourself. Um, and then, let's see, today's Wednesday, so maybe tomorrow or Friday I will make a video about the second A of integration, which is alignment. And so if you haven't figured it out, I'm doing a 3-part talk on the 3 different A's. So I'm in the process of putting a course together called, you guessed it, Attune, Align, and Ascend, the 3 A's of integrative awareness, and taking all the layers of the self and finding a way to create a coherent way for all the levels of my awareness to work together in cooperation, same direction, build momentum, and in that way create a sense of self that is, has integrity, that's grounded in the foundation of being, so that, it's not outside forces or outside conditions which will determine my sense of well-being. But, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. All right. That's all I have for you today. It's good seeing you. Thanks for joining me. For those that stopped by, drop an emoji. Let me know you were here. And let me know if you download the game. And I'd love to hear about your experiences. All right. Lots of love. Remember what a valuable treasure you are. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.